we are going to dive into two formations that I like to run out of Pittsburgh offense today. Those formations are going to be Y off trips as well as doubles Y off. I'm going to go ahead and cover the audibles that I like to use. At the X spot here, I go ahead and use motion stick and nod. At the Y spot, I go ahead and put direct snap. It's a super good run play. It's going to be super annoying for your opponent to stop. And then at the LB spot here, we're simply going to use this RPO glance post. It has a good run play and then a nice bubble screen as well that you can mix in. So at the last audible spot, we just go ahead and leave for verticals. Verts is a great play to have in any sort of formation. And looking at doubles Y off here, it's basically where we have a little fun because we go ahead and use jet touch pass. And then at the Y spot here, we go ahead and select zone fake jet. And then we also go ahead at the vertical spot, we put, where is it? Right here, fake jet halfback seam. Now for the LB spot here, you can either leave the play action play, you can use Y sail, or the red zone scissors play is pretty solid as well. So for this spot here, I usually just like to have one passing play in case they try to like run commit or anything from the formation. Red zone scissors is probably the best for like quick hiking because you can basically just run it stock. So for the video here, we'll just go ahead and leave that. And now let's dive into the formation. Time to touch on zone beaters out of verticals here. So first off here, just simplest setup ever. Go ahead and table rush your running back. Now, two variations here. One, if your opponent is in like a cover 3, I put B, so the outside wide receiver on the right here, just on an out route, and stem it up between 10 to 15 yards. So you just go ahead and hike the ball. You can see you have the table route out the backfield, or you just simply try to throw that out route, pick up your easy yards. I've stressed it a lot. Stemmed up out routes, very good in this game. And then also, like I stated, we also have this post route here to the tight end as well. Now, if you feel like you're facing a blitz out of cover 3, block your running back. That's the best thing I can advise. But you can see you have this route pretty easily over the middle of the field. I'm going to run it one more time, and then we'll simply just switch to cover 2, and I'll show you the cover 2 variation. There, it's just money on the sidelines. All right, so switching to cover 2. Let's just go to 3-4 cover 2 here. There it is. All right, so cover 2 variation, just table out the running back. You can see you can dump it off to the running back, or you can go ahead and hit this guy in the sidelines, pick up a lot of yards. We all know, if you're familiar with football, verticals is going to shred cover 2. Let's see, table route open, and then you're also going to have the seam route as well, or this, like I said, this out route, or this outside fade route as well. That's going to be very good. If we get a little bit of time, we'll be able to throw that seam route. Looking like it's not wanting us to throw it here in practice mode. I'll try just blocking the running back, see if that helps. And it does. So you can see right there, we scored an easy touchdown. Some more zone beaters that we got out of verticals. Next up here, what I'm going to do, I just streak my running back out the backfield and then go ahead and put RB here on a corner route. You can change the depth of the corner route by stemming it if you want and have it all the way down. I usually just like to run it deep, mainly because I'm either throwing this running back route in the seams here pretty quickly versus zone. It should be wide open unless they're using it. Or if we have time, we're going to look to throw the corner or that post and just pick up a big chunk of yards. Let's do it again here. This time I'll throw the post route. I really love Y off trips in this game. Super versatile formation. A lot of different route combos that you can put out there in order to shred zone. There, it's money. So I just go ahead and wheel my running back and go ahead and flat route RB, and then we're going to call hike. Mainly, just gives you an option here to one, throw this guy, tight end route. This tight end just can't catch the ball. And then you also have this wheel at the backfield, and you mix that in with a table route, just in case they're either like blitzing on the right side, or if they're like shaded up or anything, you can throw that route. Let's do it again here. picking up a lot of easy yards to the running back route. If we have a little bit longer to throw the ball, he should get open deeper for more yards. Like once he clears that yellow, see like right there, you have that option to kind of fit that in there. Sometimes it could be a tight read. You just got to kind of make that decision or call for yourself if you want to throw that. So versus cover 2. So let me show it here. See right there? That's when the wheels get nasty. Running back wheels versus cover 2 are crazy. That's going to be your money route versus cover 2 here. It's going to most often force them to try to user it. So that'll either 1, open in the flat, or 2, open this tight end route, potentially as well. But yeah, this running back wheel is going to be your money versus cover 2. Right there, possession, catch it, easy yards. So motion stick and nod versus zone. There's 2 setups that I like to run. First, we'll streak X. Aside from that here, we're going to go ahead and post A, so the tight end, and we're going to stem him all the way down. And then from there, we go ahead and out route B, the outside wide receiver, and then we put him on a a stemmed up out route in case they're in cover 3. So let me show it here. You can see with the hard flats over there, you can easily throw that tight end route. If they're shaded up, you can throw this motion flat route, this auto motion flat route here. And then you still have this route over the middle of the field, the return route that you can throw that is obviously very good versus man or zone coverage. See right there. Gonna run it one more time here, and then we'll cover what the other setup is that we like to do. So like I said, this is going to be something that's good versus cover 2 or cover 3. So let me show this one versus cover 2 here, and then we'll show the last setup. I actually also have another setup here that you can run versus cover 2, but I'll show that in a second. So we're just going to run the same adjustments here. Tweak the ball. You can see you can throw Y there, or you can wait and throw this route over the middle. So with that cloud on the left, you can see how it's kind of backpedaling a little bit. It's because I have this flat route, so it's not going to just back up and cover the tight end route, which that'll allow us to throw it over the top of it. See, once it clears, you can like highball it. You can see that it's easy yards. Now the other setup here for cover 2, all we do, streak X, the solo wide receiver, streak the tight end, and we call hike. We're mainly just trying to hit the seams or hit the sidelines here versus cover 2. If nothing is open, then you just dump it off to the return route. You can see how easily this shreds the cover 2. You pass like that to the outside. Easy receptions. Let's do it one more time. And then, like we've stated, return routes, godly, easy yards underneath. So the last zone beater here, I'm just going to show versus cover 3 because it's best versus cover 3. It's not super good against cover 2. It's going to look like this. Put a send up in route at X, and then we go ahead and corner out A, and then we hike the ball. Sometimes you can block the running back if you need to, if like they're blitzing or whatnot. But then you just basically look for the in route, the return route, the corner. One of them should get open versus cover 3. All right, so this corner should get open late. Look at that right there. Right over the top. Usually that yellow won't match up to them. Well, we're not meaning to stem him. There we go. He should be at our normal depth. Look at that right there. Money. So just going to touch on what you can run versus match. Similar to why off trips nasty, you're not going to be able to match in this formation either because we have 4 receivers on the right hand side. So I would stick to running this play here, what I run versus cover 3, just because you can dump the ball up to the running back, or mainly you can go ahead and throw that out route on the cut. Let's do it again here. Like you can see that out route here. We have it, money, you can throw it there. And then you also have this option of trying to throw the running back streak out the backfield for a bunch of easy yards. You see there's like 15 yards there. So you can throw it to the flats because he's not getting matched. That purple seam flat is just kind of chilling out there, isn't sure who to guard, and then we just dump it off. That's easy 10 yards. Also, this tight end post you have the option to throw late. Should have an option to throw it late. You can see there that the purple on the left side was just backing up. Now in that event, you can also do something like this. Drag the tight end. Look at that. He's not matching either, so you're going to pick up an easy 5-10 yards. So one more play here that we are going to run versus match. Strictly match here. And it's something I also like versus zone 2, but this is a good match beater. Putting X on a deep in and just simply corner route your tight end and leaving that return route. So you have this route underneath, and then you have two other routes over the middle of the field that will get open versus match. That's going to be the in, and then the tight end corner. Now you can leave the running back on his route or put him on like a table if you want, because you can see that opens up this as well. Otherwise, if you don't, it's going this seam flat on the right. It's going to match up to the return route. So if you look at it without putting him on the table, he's going to match up to the return. So he typically will, but you can still see we had routes open. And if he doesn't match to the return, then simply don't throw the corner. Then you still have the return and the in route to hit. Yeah, these are the routes that I like to mix in if my opponent is in match coverage. So stick and nod versus man, there's two setups that I like to strictly run. One is going to be this. I usually wheel route the solo wide receiver. Sometimes it'll burn the cornerback when it cuts up the field. Otherwise than that, it's just a space out the middle of the field for this stick and nod post here. And then from there, all we do is come back the outside wide receiver on the right and go ahead and call ourselves a hike here. So you can see tight end route wide open. The quarterback just threw a duck there. Let's do it again. Like I stated, that wheel route clears the middle of the field, so that safety has to kind of watch out for him, just so it can't really make a break on the ball. That's going to be the main purpose. Sometimes, like I stated, it'll cut up field and get open. Doesn't happen a ton. And then if we had a tiny bit more time, we had that comeback route on the right. I was going to block the running back here. It's right there. One of my money routes here versus man press or man coverage is going to be that comeback. One other thing that's good about comebacks, you can step it down if you need to. If you need to cut, it's a little bit extra time here in case the shed is getting there. Just go ahead and do that. So the other setup that we run here is going to be double wheels here. We're going to put X on a wheel route. We're going to put RB on a wheel route, and then simply just drag the outside wide receiver on the right. So we're still utilizing the stick nod post, and then we got the wheel route on the left, obviously to help create space for the stick nod post there. And then we have the wheel route on the right, which is going to get open on the cut up field. So you can see right there. Just a nice easy way to destroy man press. We obviously covered that a few days ago in my man press video. This is one of my favorite plays in the game to beat man press with. See, this drag also gets wide open. Let me run it one more time before we end the video here. Here we go. Call hike. You can see tight end route wide open. Wheel route wide open. We're just going to have a lot of fun killing man press. Let's touch on the run plays out of Y-off trips. Just to begin here, what I really like about this formation as a whole is from our base formation of gun Y-off trips nasty. You can see here on the right under audibles, all you have to do is click over once and you have all your plays here. So it's very quick and easy to audible over in order to catch your opponent off guard. Now, another thing that I like about the direct snap run personally is that it's good against man blitzes. So if you're facing like 3-4 or double mug, you can simply come out here and attack it really easily. Just getting to the edge, running up the middle. You can see that's an easy 8 yards there. Let's do it again here. And you have a big opportunity to bust it for a lot more yards, especially if you're able to get to the edge. If you're not, you can just take up the middle and just get what the defense gives you. I'm basically getting this 5 yards a pop. It's also good against other defenses as well. So just going to switch away from the mug. And then we'll just, I don't know, we'll come out in something different here. Let's just come out in over. So these run plays are good against over as well. I mean, really any sort of defense. We're picking up a decent chunk here, and then we still have the RPO play, which has a good run in it. And then this bubble screen on the right is good too. Easy 5 yards there, just because the zone's pretty much going to get sucked in every time. Or you can just go ahead and take this up the middle. You can see that was a bunch of easy yards. Get really good blocking on it. These are the two best run plays out of this formation. I spent a lot of time labbing them, and these are the ones that are most worth it, just because you see here, look how many yards I'm getting. All right, just going to run this one more time here before we move on to the rest of the offense. Right there. It's just money. So we're going to focus on the runs and doubles Y off. The two run plays that I really like are the jet pass and then the zone fake jet. Now, what I really like about this formation is when you audible over, the slot wide receivers on the short hash mark here, and then you're going to be running towards the wide side of the field, so you have a lot of space to work with. So you can see here that you can just book it to the outside here. We're getting a lot of easy yards versus double mug. The jet pass is an insane run play to run versus cover zero defenses. It's going to basically either get them out of it, or they're going to make them really sell the right side of the field, which will either open up the passes or open up the running back run play to the left. So for the rest of the video, or portion of the video here, I'm going to go ahead and just come out in the formation just to show the zone fake jet as well. I guess we'll come out and cover 3 sky. So once they're starting to sell on that right side of the field to stop the jet pass is when you mix in this run here. It's definitely a good mix in when they're overselling to one side of the field. Let's do it again. For some reason, this end is just coming right through. It might be the formation. So let me just come out in a different formation here just to show you the run. Now, there also is a fake jet pass power. However, the one thing that I don't like about this play here is that there's a tell. You can see this guy's in the line of scrimmage. So if you're playing like a smart opponent, they'll just notice right away, like, oh, that's going to be the QB run. But if we come out here in, obviously, audible to the other 2 plays, there's no tell, so they're not going to know 100% as to what is coming. All right, I'm just going to run it a couple times here. So you can see, we're just taking this up the middle here, taking the easy yards here the defense gives us. And then we obviously have a few passing plays here in this formation as well, because we just don't want the opponent to think that we're always going to run. We want to give them that pass threat, and that's just going to in turn make the run better. All right, so the fake jet halfback seam play is definitely good to mix in against the opponent here, just because it looks just like the other 2 run plays that we use. So if they're selling the run, you can definitely pick up a bunch of easy yards here. I usually focus on the running back seam route or the tight end like short crosser. Sometimes you'll have this flat route wide open, so you can also throw that. But more often than not, it's going to be one of these 2 routes here. It's a very good play versus zone. I don't really run it versus man at all. It's not really worth it in my opinion. But you can see they do get pretty decent pressure here, so you're not going to have all day to make a throw. It's a little bit worse just because it's practice mode, and practice mode always sheds better. But you see versus zone, this running back route completely shreds. And then once we get a little bit of time, you can throw this route. Get a ton of easy yards here. It's not something that you're going to sprinkle in all game. Like, you're not going to run it a bunch of times, but I maybe run it once or twice a game just to pick up these yards. And once your opponent is overselling on the good run plays in the formation, you'll be able to throw this. So versus zone, out of red zone scissors, all I do, I just go ahead and whip route Y. And then from there, you can see what you have to throw here. One, you have this running back corner route out the backfield. And then your other reads are basically going to be this comeback on the left. So you see here, you just have this wide open. And then if they're not in hard flats, you're going to be able to throw this whip route or the flat route on the right. So you can see here, I just threw it a little late. It's a really quick hike play, so you just audible over, make one hot route, and you're going to pick up some easy yards here out of this play here. So looking at, let's see here, just a regular cover 3. Let me see, a cover 3 sky is what we're looking for. Okay, there it is. So versus non-hard flats, you'll see is when you can throw these like whip routes and stuff because it's not going to cover it because they're playing between 5 to 10 yards downfield. You also have this route you can still throw, and then throwing the flat route to the wide side of the field. You're just going to have a potential to pick up an easy 5 to 10 yards. Do it again. They're never going to cover that if they're not shaded down unless they just quick switch stick to the route, and then from there you just have to watch it yourself, obviously not to throw a pick. So versus cover 2, just going to go ahead and run this zone beater a few times. You can see you have the whip route. That's going to be basically your money route here because this cloud in the left is going to get bumped or pushed by the comeback, so it's going to keep that open, and then sometimes it'll even act like a blocker. So like when you throw it, you're going to get an easy yards and then potential to bust it for a little bit more if that comeback is guarding the outside corner. Now you still have the right side here that you can throw also. So you can see this corner route out the backfield just splits the cover 2 perfectly due to the tight end flat route. So you can see just focusing on these outside routes here is basically your bread and butter versus cover 2. Now the post route here is something that, like if they send 3 or send 2 and you have a lot of time, you can potentially throw it. But versus like a 4 down lineman set, you're very rarely going to have time in this game in order to throw this post route deep in between the safeties. But sometimes you run into people who only send 1 or send 2, and then from there, that's when you're going to have that potential to bomb the cover 2 for an easy touchdown with this post route. Versus man press or man coverage, all I do for hot routes, I drag my tight end, and then this in route, I'm just going to stem it up like 3 or 4 times to make it like a 15-yard route. So my first 2 reads out on the play are going to either be the tight end drag or the running back corner route. Kind of depends on 1, if the man defenders switch, or 2, how much time I have on the play. So you can see we just got instantly shedded here by the end. Let me do it again. So that time we double teamed them. So you can see this running back route gets wide open on man coverage. Just a lot of easy yards here. Now, if we have a little bit of time here, I can also throw this in route over the middle of the field. Look at how he just cooks him. And then it's just a ton of easy yards. Everything's spaced out really well. And you have like 3 or 4 routes that easily cook man coverage. Okay, you got the tight end route. We're getting easy yards. Now, if you do have a little bit of time on the play, you should be able to throw this comeback route once it starts its cut or its break. But we obviously are going to need a little bit of time in order to throw that. We're unfortunately getting screamed at in practice mode. Yeah, we're trying to throw it, but we just don't really have the time here. But you obviously have these other routes that are easy enough to throw before you end up getting shedded or anything. So like I stated, these are routes that I really like to throw against either man press or 2-man under. So let's just finish the play here. Look at that. Y is wide open. Not much they can do. They're going to pretty much have to use that if they're in man coverage. I hope you guys enjoyed today's breakdown covering the rest of the formations that I use in Pittsburgh offense. There's a ton more wide trips formations to dive into, but these are what I prefer to run personally. So if you guys did appreciate the content here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. We'll see you next time.